federal rates of 50, I forget what it was initially, and then it went down to 53 cents or 52 cents a mile.
51.
It dropped.
But are you going to any places that are unusual? Are you traveling further or making more trips? Because you get, I looked at your expenses and it looks like you get mileage for every time you come to a meeting.
Right.
Did you see that? I thought you were asking for.
No, I did. I saw it.
Yeah.
And so, like, if you come to this meeting, you get mileage for this. If you go to a building committee meeting or something like that, you get mileage for that.
The only other long distance would be a monthly trip to Concord for the New Hampshire Association of Counties.
Is the fact that you had a lot of nursing home meetings, was that another factor in making this run out quicker?
We had subcommittee meetings of the delegation, which I guess we had a few last year, but I think we had more subcommittee meetings this year that some of us attended that added mileage. I think the biggest area was because Commissioner Albee just lived up the street. He didn't put in any mileage because it was a short distance.
He put in a lot of mileage. I saw the mileage report, and it was over. I think it was $7,500. It was overspent last year.
But it wasn't due to Commissioner Albee.
He put in everyday mileage.
Anyway, the difference between where he came from to this meeting and Commissioner Kenny coming from Wakefield to this meeting, there's a difference in mileage. So that added to the expense.
That's a pretty big discrepancy between Commissioner Kenny and you, because you're saying he didn't put in mileage, and Commissioner Kenny, you're saying Albee.
I guess we got to go back. We got to go back and look at last year's reports.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw the report from last year.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll bring those up next week. Discuss it again.
I think you can maybe go get it.
Okay.
All right. Any further discussion?
Do you get mileage when you go to the conference in North Conway that you went to?
Do we get mileage if we go to?
We haven't gone to any conference yet.
Well, you were at the same one I was at in North Conway. The DHHS conference.
Oh, I don't put in for that.
HHS conference.
I never put in for anything that's local for me. I go to meetings for
so every time you guys go to a meeting, you put in for mileage?
No, not every time. There's certain meetings only,
Yeah.
like here, if it is like a commissioners or it's a delegation meeting.
Delegation.
Not all the meetings.
Commissioners meetings.
Yeah.
One trip to Concord a month.
You cannot put for all.
Basically, that's it. And I don't think there are any meals included in that.
No.
Strictly mileage.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. You're all done, Kathy?
Yeah.
Okay. Robin?
Yeah, you can stay.
Okay. October 23rd.
When you get downstairs, Kathy, would you check the expense accounts for Commissioner Albee?
Yep.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Morning, Robin.
I got a couple of things. I had given you folks a proposal for benefits for non-union employees.
Right.
What we did is the department heads met to discuss getting our benefit package in writing, which is something we've been lacking here. Of course, the unions and the nursing home and the jail have their procedures in place, but we really need to get this in writing and in some sort of policy format. So it's basically what we do now, and I'll point out a couple of the differences that were made, but it's really the same benefit package with just a couple of differences. One of the changes we made was on the sick time. Currently we get 12 sick days per year, and what some of the department heads had been asking is if we could split, because we do get personal days as well, if we could define better our sick and our personal days. Because in some of the offices, what they were saying is they weren't okay with employees taking sick days if they weren't really used for sick time. And in reality, in life these days, having personal days to be able to take care of business that you need to take care of while you're working. So,
Are family illness, what, would that be a sick day or a personal day?
a sick day. And I didn't put the definitions in here, but this isn't the policy per se. This is basically a proposal of what we have, what we're actually doing, and the minor changes that I'm giving you right now. In the policy, there'll be more definition of, what constitutes a sick day, what constitutes a personal day. My car broke down on the way to work. Some of the department heads weren't comfortable having an employee say, I'm calling out sick. It's more like a personal day, I need to get my vehicle repaired, etc. So what they're proposing is that they were able to convert 6 of their sick days into personal days if needed. It doesn't add any time, where we still have the 12 days, but we have the option to use 6 of those as personal time. So that was one of the changes. You can pipe in, Kathy. If you
Yeah,
want.
I mean, like doctor's appointments, an emergency comes up, like not necessarily a sick, but like you said, a car breaks down, their pipes freeze, or, there's...
So let's say they use up their sick day allotment, then what happens?
They don't get paid.
They don't get paid.
Right.
They can't use any other vacation, oh, they can use vacation, I
They could
suppose.
use,
I know that the
No.
department heads want them to use vacation time as
for vacation time.
vacation time.
Okay.
Is there any policy with regard to personal days and days off? In other words, you can't take a
Oh,
personal day
like
before your
before and
day off?
after,
Yeah.
kind of
In the
thing.
nursing home there is, we haven't really had that issue
No.
with, your non-union employees are pretty much either your management team or, you're talking about the county attorney's office. That really has not
Right, it's the 9 to
presented.
5, Monday through Friday kind of group.
So partly what brought this up was that the county attorney's office was having holidays the same time that the courthouse was closed.
I think that's part of the issue, but the jail has brought this issue forward.
Yeah.
We were in discussions about this last year.
Yeah.
With some promotions over there, and we've increased our non-union employee membership at the jail. So
Yeah.
it's imperative that we need to get this hammered out and in writing, and as we hire new employees, they know exactly in writing what they're getting.
Mm-hmm. I guess my point in all this is that to make it uniform, campus-wide, complex-wide, but we're still, by the looks of this, the county attorneys are going to be off when the
And
Court is
the
registry deeds.
registries, they
I guess, why would they be off? Because the jail, because the courthouse is closed.
Because that's
They got to work anyway to prepare cases.
But if you look at the holiday, we're not taking away any holidays. We get 13 holidays per year.
Is that what a floating holiday is then?
Yeah, but you can use, for example, Kathy and I, last year the delegation meetings fell on President's Day.
Yeah,
We worked that day.
yeah.
So there's a situation that could happen in there that would be the same case. They may not decide that they're going to take that holiday that day. They may end up working and they do that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
If they're preparing big cases and things of that nature. They would have the opportunity to take that time at some other point.
Okay.
I don't know if that answered your question, but.
So it's a holiday that that's due to them, they don't take it, therefore it becomes a floating holiday, they can take it whenever they want.
And we can put restrictions on that. I didn't put any in here, but we could say you have to take it within the next 30 days, or you have to take it within. But I know that that becomes problematic with some folks that Jason has at the jail. I mean, there's times their nursing staff, they don't have that opportunity. And, you know, Jason can speak to that, but, you know, they're not able to, within a 30-day period, to say, I need to be able to take this time, or if you don't take it, you lose it.
Mhm.
So there may be a point where an employee at the jail, they get the holiday, they had to work the holiday, they're not able to take it, they'll lose that holiday.
Oh, they're not cumulative? You
No,
can't
not
accumulate.
holidays,
Not
no.
holidays.
No, you gotta use them within the year. So I guess there is a time frame on there if you wanna.
So you use it, if you use it, it becomes the holiday you're using and not a personal day.
Right. I'm not looking for you today to make a decision. I want you to read through it, and next week we can address any other questions, but I just want to, you know, keep moving on this process so we can get something in writing. And if there's other things you'd like me to hammer out, if you'd like me to actually put a full policy in place, if that's more helpful, I can do that also.
One of my concerns, I guess, is the cap on vacation time. 16 to 20 years of service, they get 25 days off per year. And that's 5 weeks.
This isn't something we've added,
No, I
Commissioner,
know.
just so you know. It's
Okay.
been in, that's been in play.
Has
so.
the maximum cap per year also been in play?
Yeah,
Of
it's
30?
always been a 5. You
Yeah.
can carry over another 5. Yeah.
Where does it say that?
Right, next
Maximum
one.
cap is 25, maximum cap is 30.
It's an additional 5 days.
Okay, okay, I got you.
Why is that a concern?
What's that?
Why is 5 weeks a concern?
I think it's a long time.
Well, I've worked in Maine Med for 30 years, I get 5 weeks.
You get 5
I don't
weeks?
think it's a long time.
In reality, or, you know, I know because when I worked somewhere else, I had a 5-week also, but that was when you first started, you got 5 weeks. There was no way you could take 5 weeks off. You know, there just
Puts a
wasn't any
burden on
way.
everybody else.
What happens is, yeah, you end up capping and you don't earn vacation, and you might have to take a week here or
Yeah, I can't take
something
them
else.
all off at once.
Right, yeah. it's-
Unlimited to 2 weeks
And
at
that's
a
not,
time.
that ought to be in here too.
We can do that.
Maximum number
Yeah.
of weeks you can take at a time.
Could I just ask a
Go
question
ahead.
while you guys are talking about this? Have you separated your lines, sick time, vacation time, holiday time? Is that how that's worked out? Have you thought about just putting it into a pool
Yeah.
and not differentiating at all?
We did.
You
We
have
had
this
the
much-
discussion
this discussion.
with the department heads and the consensus. Some of us wanted earned time, some of us didn't. And the consensus from the group was we would leave it like this,
Why?
because that's how they voted.
I mean, if you put it in a pool, there is no differentiation. And at the end of your year, if you're gonna have time that you lose, you get paid for that. You could take a lump sum of money.
I understand that, yeah.
I mean, it just doesn't make any
And
sense
that's very
to
expensive
differentiate.
to give that lump sum.
Well, you're
'Cause
gonna
if
pay,
people
you're gonna
don't
pay
take-
them one way or another
Not
now.
if they don't take it. I mean, you don't, that's extra pay.
Yeah, you might
It's
wanna-
extra, I mean, you get paid for 52 weeks of work. If you, at the end of the year, they haven't used that time, and then you're conceivably saying, 9 weeks of pay someone could get. So that's
Chunk
it's a
of money.
huge liability that we would have to fund and have to, because if someone doesn't take their time, you're saying pay them out. I mean, it's a lot.
Well, okay. I get paid
Because
if I
we're
can't take my
budgeted,
time.
we're budgeted, each department has budgeted so much salary for that person.
I know, but they've accrued the hours, it's their time.
They can take the time off and they get paid, but to pay out 5 or 6 weeks at the end of the year,